Welcome back to Right Answers Mostly, a podcast on what you didn't learn in history class, but you really wanted to. I'm Claire Donald.
I'm Tess Bellomo.
Hello, Rammies, and welcome to your last episode of 2024.
Looks like we made it.
Looks like we made it.
I would sing, but I have the laryngitis, I think.
Oh, she's got the laryngitis.
I got the laryngitis, so guys, sorry for my raspy voice. Finally, today it's not painful.
On Saturday, we went shopping, and
it was hard to speak.
I was there to translate for her.
Like, literally, I was like, tell them I like it. Like a little kid.
I was like, my baby likes it. My baby likes it.
But we got my final wedding looks.
You guys are not going to believe, if you listen to Premium, you've had some, some wedding updates with Tess, but we got your welcome party look.
Yes.
And we got your after party. And the way that you guys are going to lose your mind.
They're so good.
They're so good.
Like, it's so fun to do vintage shopping.
It was like being a kid at a candy shop. So we went to Tab Vintage in LA.
Which is just... It's like a museum of art.
It is. So they curate vintage designer pieces from all over the world. We have like 90s Chanel. It was everything.
I tried on, which obviously I didn't get, a $15,000 one-of-a-kind Vivienne Westwood corset with long sleeves. Like, it was the most gorgeous thing I've ever put on my body.
I did feel bad. There was one other friend group. It was two other girls. One was trying on dress for her wedding, and we stole the show. We stole the show.
We pulled some good looks.
Yeah,
I didn't love all the looks that she was pulling.
Right.
I just was like, I could see the vision.
Yeah.
But I think we had a good idea of what we wanted.
Well, also, and we talked about this too, like if you're going shopping with your best friend, like you have to bring the energy. When your friend walks out, you have to make them, you already did look like $1 million, but like bring it up, sister.
You were so sweet, so supportive.
Well,
I mean, obviously not surprised there, but yeah, you have to be supportive.
You do.
You have to be in a good headspace yourself to just like enjoy it.
All of that to say that Tessa's voice is gone.
It was gone. It's improving little by little. Yesterday I went on vocal rest and just had throat coat tea and did like some steams, and I pretended I was a pop star. I need to rest my voice for my final act.
Exactly. And here we are. So we were talking about that, like, let's reflect a little bit, shall we?
Let's reflect on 2024.
What's a top Ram moment for you in 2024? I know, same.
Watch What Happens Live.
Of course.
Of course. We'll never get over it. We'll never stop talking about it.
I will never stop talking about it. And that's the way we started off the year. And like, it was such a special thing for Tess and I to take a trip to New York, for Andy Cohen to give us a compliment. Like, it was, Candace literally said we do the Lord's work. Every time I watch that clip, which I watch it like once a day.
Good.
Of us on Watch What Happens Live, and they introduce us, and Candace says they do the Lord's work, and you hear Phaedra go, the Lord's work.
It was heaven. It was a dream.
Mm-hmm.
It sometimes makes, obviously we're going to get to do something like that again. But sometimes the sadness of like this once in a lifetime thing's gone. It's almost like your wedding day, Like you're like, will we ever be that happy again?
In sickness and in health, we ram.
We ram.
Yeah.
We really do.
So hopefully 2025 will be another big Bravo opportunity, but that was also my peak.
Same.
And Sarah McLachlan was amazing, having her on as a guest.
And then getting to go to the concert together.
Sobbing.
Holding
each other and sobbing third row at the Hollywood Bowl was spiritual.
And then her publicist coming up to us and be like, by the way, you guys know that you were her first podcast ever. That was a pinch me moment.
Jake Shane was a pinch me moment.
Oh my God, he's even blowing up more now than...
It's crazy. I would love to have Jake back on the pod.
Jake, call us.
Yeah, please do. Those were definitely my Ram highlights.
Same. What episodes stick out to you?
I've got it. Well, Monica Lewinsky was this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's right when we got back from Watch What Happens Live, because we're talking about it a lot at the beginning.
Well,
we just returned.
Some things never change. That one has always stuck out to me. Honestly, Trojan War was my favorite to research this year, I think.
I think Trojan War was, God, I think it was top 3 best episodes we've ever done.
Wow.
Like, I'm going to say it. I think everyone agrees.
I think you might be right. Lisa Frank, that one really was a favorite of mine too.
And Lisa Frank, I was just looking at those numbers the other day and I was like, that one has done well.
We love it when our girls do well.
Yeah, truly. We were like that. She, the 90s nostalgia always takes us to the top. I need to think of something else early next year to do with like 90s.
Black Death was also fun. It's crazy when you forget about episodes too, like the Olympics. So a little peek behind the curtain. When we recorded the Olympics episode, Tess and I the next day were like, that was the worst episode we've ever recorded in our entire lives.
We felt so off.
We both were so off, and we couldn't save each other.
No.
It was...
Which is rare.
I don't think it's ever happened before. And I think it really shook both of us. And it is amazing what some editing can do. But we truly were like, should we even release it? Like we thought it was the worst episode to ever exist.
It felt like the first episode we'd ever recorded. Like we were just like questioning everything that we said.
Yes.
Our chemistry was off, which is just rare, but also a fan favorite.
Yeah. It's always a learning lesson.
It really is.
Any other ones that stick out to you?
You know, I just think like, and we've talked about this before, I think this year is just like when we got to such a good place with like trusting ourselves, trusting our gut, not overanalyzing things like we used to.
Yeah.
I just feel like this year was just like really golden for like our chemistry in every episode. I mean, it always has been.
Yeah.
It always has been.
Yeah.
But like it just was such a sweet spot.
And Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders.
Oh my God, that
That's
was so
also
fun.
a favorite.
Oh, that was so fun.
But I completely agree with you. Also, just like with the Rammies, I feel like I am so close to you guys right now.
Yeah, and like I feel like we've really gotten this like community down.
Same. And so I'm excited to see like where we get to go next in 2025, which some of the questions are about that. But
yes.
I feel like now let's launch off.
Let's launch off.
Why the hell
and
not?
guys, we're all doing it together.
No, truly.
We couldn't do it without you. So like thank you for everyone that's like sharing the episodes, buying merch, subscribing to premium, like all of it. You guys just do so much for us.
Wow. So we always end each year with the Ask Us Anything. It's just like a fun way for us to just celebrate all together and just chat. So you guys have submitted questions, and we have lots of them.
We're Katie Couric today. We have an actual piece of paper. So if you hear a little bit of this.
That's our paper. That is our work. That's journalism.
Yep, exactly.
So we have life advice questions, personal questions, pop culture questions, all of the above.
A little bit of everything. So it's just in a random order.
Yeah.
And should we just start at the top?
Let's do it. Oh,
all right, this one's for you, Claire.
Oh, okay.
What is dating? What is talking?
Fuck. It's so interesting. I was actually thinking about this question in the car, and I was like, when I first got this question, I was like, what do you mean, what is dating? And then I was like, what is dating?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's so interesting that they followed it up with the what is talking. So I'm almost wondering if they're asking what is dating versus what is like just talking to someone.
Well, we were kind of talking about this in the car.
I mean, this is like personally for me, what was my issue with my situationship this summer, honestly, was because I was very much like, we're just talking. And then all of a sudden it's like when you're just talking to that person and no one else, and when you're just sleeping with that person, like you're dating. Like you can say we haven't had the conversation and all of that stuff, but like you're dating at that point. Like call it how you see it.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think like it's when you get out of a serious relationship and you have been in the past relationship girly,
yeah,
it's hard to know that line, and it's hard not to be like, okay, now I'm like 100% falling for this person, and you're like, whoa, what just happened?
Exactly, and then you're just in it again. But like broadly, what is dating? How do you interpret that question?
I mean, I think dating is like what you want it to be.
I was literally just about to say that, Tess.
You know?
It's whatever you want it to be.
But I think you should know your intention is important.
You should know your style, your intention and style that works for you.
Yes.
Would you like to?
I just think like if, know what you want when you're going out there.
Yes.
Because it is people's feelings on the line.
Yeah.
And things can change, of course. Things can develop. But I think like if you are single and you're like, okay, I want to start dating, set some intentions for yourself. Like I want to be sleeping with a bunch of people and having fun. I would actually like to just be talking to one person, and because I want to be in a serious relationship in the next year, like just kind of know what you're about.
Exactly. And I think also being vigorously honest with the people you're dating about what you want to. Like if you do just want to have fun, make sure people know that. Like, hey, just so you know, I'm not looking for anything serious right now, because it's not fair to the other person if that's what they're looking for. And don't be ashamed if you are looking for something serious, like after a couple dates, to be like, hey, I don't know what your intentions are, but I actually am looking for like a partner. And like, don't be afraid to scare them off, because if you scare them off with that, then they're not your person.
Just don't be cool. Don't pretend to be the cool girl. It literally like ruined probably 5 years of my life where I could have gotten what I wanted, but I was just like pretending that I didn't care. And it's so bad for your mental health, and it's so bad for your confidence. Like, so just be honest, and no one should ever make you feel like you're too much.
Exactly. And that says everything.
Yeah. So just be open and honest, I think. And that's what dating can be for you.
And dating is whatever you want it to be.
Truly.
It's your journey. Choose your journey.
Love.
Oh. Well, we've gotten this a lot lately.
We have, and I think we should address it.
I agree. I agree.
Publicly.
We'd like to make a statement. Thank you for joining us here today. This is why we have our papers.
Exactly. This is ABC News.
Mm-hmm. Why don't you drink or smoke on the podcast anymore? Such a great question.
I think a few reasons.
Yes. Yeah.
Like logistically, we can start.
Start there. So now we record at the gorgeous Spotify podcast studios in downtown Los Angeles.
And we would never do such a thing at Spotify.
We would we have once. We have smoked in the parking lot. But like, who amongst us has not smoked in a parking lot before going to work? You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But drinking and driving is never the answer.
No,
And smoking and driving is never the answer. And when you have like a commute, you guys, like, because from where we live, this ain't the closest.
Exactly. So we're being safe and responsible.
Exactly.
The second part is that I think we used to feel like we needed to a little bit more for nerves, for branding. Like, oh, we have a glass of wine or 3 or 4.
At 11 a.m.
And it was just I don't love the feeling of then having to like work after you've had a glass or 2 of wine. And also like, I just feel like we are so confident now with it. We don't need that as like a crutch.
It was a crutch. But also, like, I would not be opposed to it. Like, if Spotify had a bar and they wanted to provide me with cocktail if we were doing like an evening episode, I'd be happy to. And oh my God, that would be such a treat.
That'd be so chic.
And on premium, like when we're over at Tess's house, like sometimes we'll have some wine and it's just more like loose and relaxed.
Yeah. But we just like don't feel like it's like as much of a part of the show as it used to be.
Yeah. And I'm sorry if you miss it. Like, again, every once in a while, I would love to. But it is also like we record now kind of like 2 times a week. And like, that's a lot.
Yeah. And my tummy, I'm not supposed to be drinking anymore.
Yeah, that's
forever.
A whole other thing. Pray for
just
her.
kidding. I'm still liking it. But I need to cut. I need to just specifically choose when to indulge in alcohol.
Tell her bachelorette
till
trip.
my bachelorette trip. So mama's going sober till then.
Yeah. That's like the craze.
So that's kind of that's the answer.
Yeah, that's it. And also like try smoking a joint and then remembering facts and reading.
It used to be kind of fun and silly to the point where then it got really scary.
Yeah.
And it did not feel like a safe space.
Yeah, then the darkness came. So
that's what we'll say.
But like we are who we are still.
Yeah, we still, on our spare time, we still drink and smoke together.
Of course. And like a dream one day would be to have a collaboration with an alcohol or a weed brand.
You guys wrote in, that was like the number one thing of like wine, martinis, joints. So it's all in the works. Don't you worry.
Don't you worry. And I love that we have carved out a brand for ourselves in that way.
Same.
Next one.
Advice for long distance friendships. Well, you could take that one because like you have so many friends in Arkansas still.
Yeah. I feel like it's just being 2 things, being intentional and being forgiving also, because I think that you need to put in the work, like also communication styles. Like my best friend Emma and we send each other voice memos all the time. And that's so much easier than like writing out a text. And it can also like you
or
can
FaceTiming.
Or FaceTiming. Yeah. Like it doesn't have to be a FaceTime or a phone call or even a text. You can send a voice memo. They can listen to it whenever they want. You don't have to wait for a response. And we'll just be like, this is what's going on in my world. Let me answer what you sent even a week ago. And then you get to hear their voice. It sounds more personal. So like, I think voice memos are such a gift. And I'm also such a voice memo girly.
Same.
And being intentional, because also sometimes on social media, you can see your friends and think that you've talked to them because you see what's going on in their life. But like, you need to reach out and see how your friend's doing and what's going on in their world. Just because you see it, you don't actually know what's happening to them.
That's such a good point, Claire.
Yeah. So Emma, Morgan, and Sarah, I'm always reaching out to you guys. I will always be worried about you.
Always.
And then the second part of being forgiving is just that also knowing that people have so much going on in their lives, and there are waves that sometimes people are more busy than others. And so you might be like, oh God, I miss my friend and I feel like I haven't heard from them in a while. Reach out. They will reach out when they can. We're all doing our goddamn best.
It's so true. And like everyone has tons of friends.
Yeah.
Relationships, family, work, like give the benefit of the doubt. Like they love you.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, that's great advice. I agree.
Anything else to add?
No.
Gorgeous. Advice for starting over after ending a long relationship where we live together. We've both been through this.
We have.
God, it's hard. Like, I feel for you.
It's so hard. I mean, obviously it gets easier with time. I think like such a big thing is like start new traditions. Like if you and your partner used to go to the farmer's market every Sunday, like maybe for a while don't do that. And maybe on a Sunday, go to the beach with some girlfriends and have a coffee there or something.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
yes.
Like new traditions to carve out a new mental path for yourself.
I think that's such good advice because it's also what I would say is like, look at this as like, this is the start to the rest of your life. And how exciting is that? And like, you don't have to answer to anyone but yourself. So if you're doing something that you don't like to do or doesn't feel good, don't do it. If you want to try something or do something, go for it.
And like how freeing.
How freeing.
Because you don't have someone that is like, I don't like to do that on a Sunday morning. Like, fuck that.
You go do whatever you want to do.
Exactly.
And like, with your next place, whether you're living with someone or living alone, like it is a luxury to live alone, especially in this economy. It is a luxury, but it is, if you have the opportunity, do it. It might feel scary right now. It is the best thing ever.
It is so important for women, I think, and like really just like tune into your female friendships.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I think, God, I mean, I did a lot of things wrong after a breakup like that. Like I think you try to get back together and like you're like holding on. I think as much as you can, like just like release and separate yourself.
I think you have to give yourself the opportunity.
God, you really do.
Like that, if you don't, then you're not giving yourself a chance to see what this new life could be for you. I completely agree. It's hard for me to answer this question kind of because I mean, I went through that this year, but I was so over my relationship once I ended it. I mean, obviously,
so ready.
I was so ready. And like, obviously, I was sad because change is hard. But I'm kind of like, sister, or whoever's writing in, you have the best ahead of you.
Exactly.
And it's only exciting.
Exactly. And I feel like you went through like a tiny little, but then I was like, she's ready. She's not sad for too long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
But of course, like everything is a lot with it. So just take care of yourself. If you're struggling, like I think get into therapy too, just to like, talk it out.
Things that you don't even know like could be bothering you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, and let time do what it does.
Oh, it's a gorgeous thing. It feels like it's going to be forever. And then you're like, oh, I can't even imagine being that sad anymore.
Exactly.
Oh, we love that. We love the growth.
It's an exciting time.
Oh, God. Yeah, there's no better feeling, truly, than like when you're ready and then you're like, I'm free and I'm single and I can do whatever the hell I want.
Oh, and watch Sex and the City.
Always. It just makes your life feel like a movie.
Exactly.
Always.
Oh, this is you.
What do I do if I hate my best friend's boyfriend who she moved to Texas for? Oh, God.
That sucks that she moved to Texas and that you hate him.
Oh, it's just such a tricky situation.
I'm like, we can speak on this.
Yeah. I mean, I've experienced this a couple times in my life, and I wasn't a huge fan of Claire's ex-boyfriend.
No.
And I don't know if like there's no like right thing to do. I think advice that actually my fiance told me was like, tell someone how you feel one time about it and then don't like keep repeating things over and over. Like you can sit down with someone and be like, look, like this is how I feel. I'm concerned. So I think, and like, Lord knows I didn't do that because I'm just like a blabbermouth, but like, I think it's fair to talk about how you feel.
With us, you did that. Like we had conversations and obviously like everyone's situation is different.
Yeah.
But like, I knew, but I didn't know because you kept constantly saying it.
Right.
I think you stated how you felt.
Yeah.
And there were circumstances that happened that it's like, well, this can't be ignored anymore.
Yeah, I think like we had to talk about it at least like 2 or 3 times about like what is going on. God, it's the word. It is just a shitty situation because you feel so protective of your friends. You sometimes have a hard time understanding. And then that can cause, a little bit of tension. Like, I think though, like for us, like at least like we were able to talk about it versus another friend that I had this happen to and now we don't speak anymore because she made me feel like the villain for it. So I think you just have to like hear it out on both sides.
I also think it's so circumstantial too because like you could not like your friend's significant other because they're dangerous or because they're like actually doing things that are hurtful, Or you could not like them because they're annoying and they talk too much or they're douchey or something like that, that it's like more of a personality thing.
There are levels of it.
There are levels
and
of
if they're just not for you, kind of don't say anything, because then your friend's going to be like, what the fuck?
Exactly. And guess what? You probably will be the villain in that situation, whether you like it or not, and whether that's fair or not.
I think, if there are like actual concerns and your feelings are hurt, maybe they're treating you badly too, then I think it's really fair and honest and the kind thing to do to be like, this is how I feel. I'm really uncomfortable. I love you. I don't want this to come between us. I don't want to end up resenting you. But this is happening and I need to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
Is probably the right thing to do.
Yeah. Versus like if they're having their own things in their relationship where you're like, I hate that he does that. Like he doesn't pay for anything or he doesn't like clean up after himself and he's annoying. Like that's kind of their relationship to deal with.
Yep.
And you're not dating them. Also, like you don't know what they have their own relationship with them. So you kind of do have to sometimes be like, I would choose someone so much better for my friend, but if she is happy at the end of the day, that's all I can really ask for.
Yes.
And it's really hard.
It is really hard. It does suck.
Especially if she moved from where you're living to Texas like that sucks.
It does. And I think what happens in a lot of the situations is like friendships can become strained.
Definitely.
And if you're starting to feel that, I think talk about your friendship, like be like, I feel this way, not like he did this to us, but be like, I'm feeling distant. What can we do to like mend this?
That's such good advice, Tess.
So I think just like think of it internally for like you two as girlfriends.
Such good advice. Everyone's going to go through this in their life at some point.
Oh my God. I mean, like it is like the stress of it sucks it just really does suck.
It does suck. And then again, at the end of the day, they're living their life. They're going to choose their choices.
And the tough reality of it is if you do say this, some people will not take it the right way and maybe you will no longer have that friend.
Exactly.
And another kind of reality of it is sometimes that is what is meant to be.
Exactly.
So,
good luck.
Good luck.
Honestly, keep us updated.
Yeah, curious.
Yeah. Same.
Curious. Always with these. I'm like, tell us more.
Yeah, same. Okay. How to deal with Ram haters who still listen religiously. Once you find out, let us know.
Truly. Yeah, we know that you guys like hate listen to us and then leave us bad reviews and comment like and DM us being like, meh, 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 meh.
I love this podcast, but.
And then 1 star. Oh, honey.
Oh, honey.
Well, if you really like, if we bug you that much, stop listening. We don't need you.
Just like, please.
I don't care.
And don't be
sorry,
mean
I
to
don't
us.
care anymore.
But actually, you know what? Hate us, give us the streams, whatever.
That's true. You can keep listening, but like, just we don't react. We don't take that on anymore like we used to. So if you think you're like getting a really sad reaction out of us, we have such amazing fans.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, we don't really care.
Enough said. Enough said. Oh, I love this next one.
What astrology sign would Ram be?
God, I've been thinking about this.
The first instinct for me is a Leo.
Okay, same.
But I don't know if that's where we'll land.
No, okay, let's go on a journey with this.
Yeah.
Because obviously I was like, well, I think she's a fire sign.
Yeah.
I think she is.
I think so,
but also,
too.
could she be? God, there's so many things because
Could she be a water sign?
She could be a water sign. Like there is depth to her. There's like a lot of emotion. She could be an air sign to be like, what's going on?
No, that's true.
Well, at first, also, you know what? One that popped in my mind was a Gemini because we have some pop culture episodes, but we also have like some historical episodes.
And also, Geminis are very creative.
And Geminis are very chatty. So I was like, maybe she's a Gemini.
Yeah, because you like kind of never know what you're going to get.
Exactly. But she's such a show off, which is like
Geminis
a Leo.
can be.
That's so
now that
true.
you said Gemini, I'm like, that's like what I feel in my heart.
I know.
Whoever thought we'd say.
That's what I literally was like pacing my bedroom when I first read that.
I can imagine.
She's not an earth sign, even though we're both earth signs.
She's not.
She's just not.
She's not.
No, I'm a Virgo, Tess is a Taurus, so you would think she's not a Capricorn.
No.
With love and light.
With love and light. She's
not a Capricorn.
No, and she's not a Scorpio. She's not a Libra.
I know. Even though we do want to serve justice.
We do.
And we're flirty. That's like very Libra, but no.
Yeah, Gemini makes sense to me.
I think she might be a Gemini.
She is just like who she needs to be for every situation. She puts a little hat on.
Wow, it's so true.
She puts a hat on.
And I do think that Gemini are like they're supposed to be one of the chattiest signs in astrology.
Oh, for sure.
So
yeah, like extroverted,
exactly,
smart,
creative. And lots of duality.
It's always about the duality.
It's always about the duality.
Wow.
Ram is a Gemini.
Ram is a Gemini. You heard it here first. Breaking news.
Crazy?
Yeah, it is crazy.
Wait, but didn't we record our first episode, Prohibition, in June, and then we released Titanic in August? Like, Ram actually might be a Gemini.
Yeah, we did because it was really hot. Yes.
I think that June in the green room.
Yes.
When we did Prohibition.
Yeah, you're so right. That
So
was in June.
I think she genuinely is a Gemini.
That's when she was born.
That is when she was born. Wow.
Wow, so it all makes sense.
I love that. That was such a good question.
That was. Whoever wrote that.
Any astrology question, I'm in. Oh, I was at a Saltburn party this past weekend,
Chic.
and one of the roommates of the house where it was, I stole him for an hour, and I cornered him and talked about astrology.
Good.
And someone came up. Oh, Allison came up, and she's like, "Oh, sorry, I'm interrupting." And he was like, "We're good here, actually."
He's like, no. What's up? What are you drinking?
Oh, did someone call my name down there? Bye. Oh, I could talk about it for hours.
Amazing. I love. Well, if you could be a different astrology sign, Claire, what would you choose?
Leo. So bad. I want to be a Leo.
Oh, really?
I'm the first day of Virgo.
I know. But you are such a Virgo.
I know. But like what I would do to be a Leo. A Leo, or my rising's a Scorpio, I would probably choose a Leo or a Scorpio. I think. God, I mean, like, I do love the luxury of Taurus, though. But I think a Leo, like, Leos just have, I would love to be a fire sign for a day.
Yeah.
It's like, you guys just have so much fun.
No, that's so true. I'm trying to think, like, what would really be different for me. Because I was like, it would be fun to be a Scorpio, but I already feel a lot of Scorpio things in myself. I'd almost say I would choose to be a Libra.
That is, honestly, I think Libra and Taurus are probably some of the most, like...
Yeah.
Because Libras are so like, I don't know, or let me see both sides of this.
Yes.
And Taurus is like, no, I know.
Yeah, I think Libra to feel what it's like to feel mentally stable.
Let's just try it out for a day.
And like balanced and just like calm. Like what it'd be like to be canal for a day. I'm always like, I would love to be in your head of just like you are certain and calm.
Well, usually Libras aren't very certain. They can be quite indecisive.
That's true. But I think for me, which I have improved on in my life, is like the black and white thinking.
Exactly.
And I think I used to be very just like, oh, they think this and then I hate them. Or they said this to me, that means I like, and I have tried to find the gray area. And that is something I journaled a lot about in 2024.
It's
like
a
even like
thing.
drawing Venn diagrams to be like, here's how I feel about a situation. Where's the middle?
I love a Venn diagram.
I had to really draw those out a couple times.
Like the middle was so small.
The middle was quite small. But so I think that would be an interesting like thing for me to feel.
A Libra, beautiful. Yeah. So you're going to an air sign. I'm going to a fire sign.
Yeah.
I love that. Also, Leo, I want the hair.
Oh, God. We love Leo hair. But no, actually, yeah. Yeah.
Leos have great hair.
I love that.
A Leo and a Libra. How did you come up with your theme song? Well, we knew we wanted it to be educational, a play on educational. If you guys don't know, our theme song is Pomps and Circumstance.
Pomps and Circumstance.
Yeah, but remixed.
And so we were like, how fun would it be to be like at the club?
Yes. Well, that's actually a goal.
Literally this to play at a club and someone send us a video of everyone dancing.
I want to be at that club.
It's like, did you see the videos of everyone dancing to Luigi Mangione?
No.
He was they put him on the slideshow and it was at a club, I think in New York, and everyone's just like dancing to him, the guy who just killed the United.
Yeah, it does. Like this whole thing is freaking me out a little bit, to be honest. It's freaking me out a little bit. And someone tried to compare it to the Menendez brothers. I was like, those brothers went through horrible abuse their whole life and killed their parents.
There was a tweet about it where I was like, holy shit, that makes sense. It was like when millennials especially grow up in a culture of thoughts and prayers their whole life.
Yeah.
And then something like this happens with like, this is the same thing that we've seen happen since the beginning of time, essentially. Yeah. It almost makes sense of like an instinct to celebrate it, even though like it is so dark and like not okay. It's almost like both sides can be true.
It scares me. To me, I'm like, okay, we are going to have no thresholds for like violence at all, which like clearly we don't anymore. This man like literally murdered someone right on the street. And like, I get it. Listen, John Wilkes Booth again being like, he's so hot. And I can say this Luigi guy is so hot, but to be like celebrating him
No, we
feels
should
a
not
little...
be. We should not be dancing at the club. We shouldn't be doing all of these
like I would have danced at that club if I were there.
Of course,
it just feels a little scary to me.
I think like it's an interesting thing to dissect on a deeper level with like this country, but
yeah,
that's a whole nother story.
Yeah. So our theme song.
So yeah, dance at the clubs.
Yeah, we had someone remix it any way that we can get that out to all the clubs. Is there like a email list that we could send that out to the clubs?
Call us.
We have a theme song for you.
We really do, and it's just so fun.
It's
so fun.
I know. We need to make it a TikTok dance.
Oh my God.
You guys, can you make it a TikTok dance?
Rammies, I think we actually need them to help us with this.
Okay, a goal for 2025 is a soundbite from Ram going TikTok viral.
If you are inclined as a dancer, a mover,
a shaker,
please do this on TikTok and tag us.
I would love that.
Make it happen.
But can we also talk about that sound clip? Because you know that like girl, you know that sound clip that's going around on TikTok where the girl's like, can I just say, like, why does penne pasta only have one shape? Like, I want that for Ram.
I know.
So also do that too.
Do the work on TikTok, actually, you guys.
Yeah, you guys have some homework with the internet.
We can only do so much.
That's true. And we're trying. We're tired.
We're trying.
Yeah. What keeps you motivated to keep doing episodes?
Because it's really fun.
I know. I'm like, I never for a second be like, is this actually what I want to be doing?
No, it's just so fun.
It is so fun. I mean, it can be hard to choose an episode. Like I'm going through that right now of like, just deciding a subject.
Yep.
But I never feel like I don't really want to do it.
Because you have so much freedom too. Like I think we used to be like, that's not going to be interesting. There's not enough detail on that. And now we're like, we make everything interesting.
Exactly. It's not like what keeps you motivated on doing episodes, more of like what keeps you motivated on like just keeping the whole ship going. You know what I mean? Like we've gone through things on, again, like TikTok being like, I will die if I have to make a TikTok right now.
Well, also, there's another question that someone asked in here, which we could talk about too, that someone asked, do we do all of our own research? We do 100% of our research.
We do 100% of our research. We edit this. We do every social clip.
Yep.
So that we have an amazing assistant, Maddie, who does our newsletter.
Yep.
She is a queen for that. But besides that, we do everything else by ourselves.
So it's like we want to do everything and it can be, it's pressure.
Yeah.
Like it can be really hard to be like, fuck, like, is this going to make sense? Especially as we get bigger, like doing bigger episodes, like it can be scary.
The bigger you get, the scarier it gets, that's for sure.
It really does.
But again, it is so fun.
You guys really help make it fun.
Yeah.
Because you guys know like who we are, you know?
Exactly.
And we know who we are too. And like we know that like it's always going to be a space to make mistakes. And if we need to apologize, we will.
Yeah.
But mostly just to figure it out together.
Well, like I sent a video the other day to a friend who has also a really cool job, but I sent a video of me Googling the history of porn, and she was like, can we trade jobs for a day? And it's like, when you remember that, it's easy to stay motivated.
It's a great point.
Because like, yeah, I'm just researching porn for work and
researching. You know?
Doing my research.
That is true, Claire. That is true.
Oh my God. Oh, interesting.
Okay, this is interesting. Can age gaps work? They're saying that there's a 22 to 33.
Not a 22 to 33 year age gap.
Those are their ages.
Yeah.
So they're about 10 years apart.
Okay. So the controversial $1 billion matchmaker always said that 10 years is the biggest age gap that will work. A decade.
Yep.
I agree. I also think, again, it's all circumstantial. And I also think a big part of that, though, is what ages you are when you get together.
100%.
Like, I don't know.
Because like a 35 and 48 feels a little bit easier, maybe.
I mean, I think that you're in such a different place at 22 than you are at 33, to be honest. And I know you feel like you know it all right now, but like, where I was even at 27 to 30 is so different.
Oh, yes. And I think like you just want to make sure like you're on similar pages and like have similar paths.
Also like friend groups. Like what is it like hanging out with each other's friend groups? Because it's like you guys could really be connected, but you're going to have to hang out with each other's friends. And hanging out with like a much older or vice versa, them hanging out with a younger friend group is.
Yeah. And I know like as women, it can be like speaking from past experience, like it can be like, ooh, like I'm dating like an older guy and like this is sexy and I like feeling like I'm like kind of like young and like whatever. But there also comes a time when, the glasses come off. The rose-colored glasses come off.
That literally happened to me earlier this year.
I know.
I was like, I've always been into older guys, but I was like, this is so sexy and fun. And then one time we hung out, like after I had been out and dating more people like my age, and I was just like, this isn't fun anymore.
Yeah, and also like you don't want to date someone that makes you feel young. Like that's what happened to me where like we were 12 years and he would just always be like, always making comments about how I was still in my 20s. I was 29, I think. Yeah. And I was just like, shut up. And then also talking about like pop culture and like childhood and movies was like a huge age gap that I was just like, this is starting to feel like, what can we talk about?
What can you connect on? I think that's why they say 10 years because like you usually have like the same references, but actually like 10 years is quite different references. Like you kind of grew up in different worlds.
Kunal and I are 6 years apart, and the childhood like shows and movies that we watched, and also like we're, he's not watching Lizzie McGuire.
I knew you were going to bring it to Lizzie McGuire.
It always goes back to Lizzie McGuire.
Of course.
That you're just like, whoa, even 4 years, even for us, we have a few different things and we're 3 years apart.
And that's crazy.
I know. I think just like, if it feels like it's a thing, you don't want this to be like clouding your relationship of like, you know what I mean? You don't want it to feel like heavy in it.
Well, also, you know what I would say? I'm just going to do a hot take, but it's not even that hot. I'm like, if you're 22, don't even get in like a serious relationship. Like just have fun with the 33-year-olds if you want, but like don't lock it down because you're like 22. Why don't lock anything down right now?
What I would give to take back my early 20s and to be single.
You and me both, sister.
I said it.
You and me both. Because it's like, for what?
That is like, I don't have regrets in my life, but like I wish I could have been more single in my 20s. I'll say that.
Same.
Because literally until I was 26, I was with a couple different people.
Yeah. So 22 and 33, like you got to listen to your own heart and do your own thing. Like if you feel like it might be too much, then like dump him or dump her.
Exactly.
But I don't know. I think just like kind of keep it more in a bracket.
I think so too.
Oh God, but we are going to start getting to the age where all of our single guy friends are going to start dating like 20-year-olds, and that's crazy.
Guys.
And that's enough.
Just don't be like a stereotype.
It's weird.
Just like, don't do it.
I also do think bigger age differences are weird because I always put in the perspective of like, they were a baby when you were like 20. That's fucking gross.
No, this is, never mind. I'm going to talk about this on premium. But yeah, like I grew up around that, I'm just going to say. And it's triggering to me.
Yeah, rightly so.
Like, you don't need to date someone 25 years younger than you, okay?
You really don't.
That's all we're going to say. Oh, how to keep long distance spicy.
Well, you take that one away.
Snapchat. We know it's an old app. Bring it back.
The only people I Snapchat, well, it sounds weird now because you just said that, but my family. My family and you.
I mean, we've sent each other like our naked bodies with spray tans before. Be like, does this look weird? Yeah. But you have to do that over Snap.
You have to do it over Snap.
I'm sorry if that's weird for you guys, but like, you need to see sometimes. Like,
I've seen all of my girlfriends naked.
Of course.
So Snapchat.
Yes, I would just say keep the nudes coming.
Yeah, I agree.
Keep them coming. Remember what we said on our last Ask Us Anything.
Say it again.
Take all of the pictures of your body.
Now.
Yeah. And just be like, I can't believe I look this good.
Of course. Yeah. And like soak it up. I just watched the episode of Sex and the City where Samantha has a nude photo session and they're like, why would you ever do that for a man? And she's like, a man? Honey, I did it for myself.
Do it for yourself and do it for your friends.
Yeah.
Like when I sometimes when I was single, I mean, I used to send Katie a lot. Yeah. Of just being like, does this look good? Should I like send this to someone? And then like your friends are like, oh my God, you look so hot. And that's even better than getting a response from a boy.
It's the best. It is even better sometimes.
So yeah, I'd say like just take all the photos. Spicy. Yeah, just send all the photos. That's all I'm gonna say. Spontaneous.
I could never, to be honest, be in a long distance relationship.
It's really hard.
Yeah. I mean, never say never, but like I don't really want to be ever.
And that's perfectly normal.
Yeah.
It's really, really hard.
Yeah, that is hard.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Have fun. Let us know. Send us the pics.
Yeah. Send us your nudes.
Please.
Just kidding, guys. Please don't.
No, boundaries. No.
I know some of you will.
No, guys, don't.
Stop.
Don't. So sorry. Sometimes we forget that you guys are eager little beavers.
That's so true. Do not.
We'd have to block you.
Yeah, we really would.
We don't want to do that.
Oh, speaking of duality, favorite musical of all time. This is why she's a Gemini. You know?
Exactly. It's always like you never know what you're going to get next. What's your favorite musical of all time?
Like Broadway musicals?
Any musical.
I don't know. What's yours?
I mean, God, depends what time of my life. Like childhood, it was Rent.
Yeah, I've like still never seen Rent all the way through.
Yeah.
We started watching it on Tessa's birthday trip in Austin, when your 27th birthday trip.
When I was out
You were at Dry Bar. Katie and you were at Dry Bar, and it was the 4 p.m. time where you have to like, it's siesta.
Yeah.
And Katie and Tess came back, and Katie was like, get up.
I was like, we cannot be watching Rent right now. And everyone was just like so slowly just morphing into the couch. And I was like, get up. Like, get up. Heather Thompson, New York.
Yeah, exactly.
So I used to love Rent. Then it was Wicked.
Wicked's great.
Can I say like a TV show?
Yeah, well, that's like where, I mean, I'm going to like The Lion King and Hercules in my head.
I'm going to, well, Anastasia.
Anastasia, Once Upon a December, come on.
And the Buffy musical episode.
Yeah, I've never watched Buffy.
I love that episode so much. Once More with Feeling.
Did you watch Glee?
I did, but only till season 4, and I'm proud to say that I stopped.
Gwyneth Paltrow was on it, right?
I guess
GP?
the gin in my pocket wasn't enough. She sings that.
That show literally never called to me.
I got over it very quickly.
That show feels like dangerous to me.
I understand. There's a lot of darkness.
Yeah.
And that's all we'll say on that.
Yeah. I think,
But yeah, I was always just like, oh, I can't be this theater kid. I had to like separate myself sometimes if I ever felt like I was tipping over the edge, you know?
Yeah, got to reel it back in.
Reel it back in.
Yeah. I guess my favorite musical. Oh, but seeing The Lion King actually live is
Amazing.
actually like my favorite.
So that music, Can You Feel the Love Tonight? I actually think is one of the most beautiful songs that's ever been written.
Elton John. What a craftsman.
Don't make me, I can't sing actually.
Yeah. Don't make her sing, like, for real.
Truly.
Yeah. Lion King live is probably.
It is. I do love it.
Yeah. How did you like 6, right?
6 was so good. It's so Ram coded.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It's so smart. It's like just like 6 women up there the whole time.
I would love to
Like
see that.
no like state like and you don't even need it.
Yeah.
There's no like production design.
Ugh, a dream.
It was a dream. It was a dream I loved.
Would you rather dream one dream every night forever, or be able to lucid dream whenever? Wow. I mean, lucid dream whenever.
Lucid dream.
Because don't we all have dreams every night?
Isn't everything
A dream.
a dream?
Yeah, I mean, I am someone who dreams often.
Same. Especially on NyQuil.
Yeah, you've been having some crazy dreams lately.
Amanda Petula. She was like our best friend. It felt so real.
Told Tess, I don't think that's a dream. I think it's a prophecy.
I think it is too.
I think that's coming. But like to be able to have a lucid dream, well, that could get dangerous, you know? Really detached from reality on that one.
It could.
But that could be nice.
Have you seen Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind? Or you haven't seen it?
That's not the one with Jared Leto, right?
That's Requiem for a Dream.
Okay, no, I've seen Requiem for a Dream, and I've not seen Eternal. What's it called?
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Kate Winslet, Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey? Is that who's in it?
I think it is.
Yeah, that sounds almost weird to say.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Really? Do they dream?
I'm almost like not going to tell you anything.
Okay.
But it's like an interesting idea.
I'll put that on my list because I feel like I'm in a movie phase
I think you'd
right
be
now.
very like moved by it.
Okay.
It kind of makes you think.
Okay.
About life.
I love that.
Love.
And I'll follow Kate Winslet into the dark.
Oh, we love you, Kate.
We really do.
Thank you for everything you've done. Like truly.
You guys don't realize like how much bullshit Kate Winslet has had to go through with her time in Hollywood. It's actually insane.
Since she was 17.
Is that how old she was in Titanic?
Mm-hmm. She turned 18 on set.
How old was Leo?
18 to 19? I always forget. One of them was like 18 and the other one was 19. I think she's older than him actually.
Yeah.
So I think she was 19 when she filmed Titanic.
And a lot of people think that she was a lot older than him. I mean, he does seem so boyish and she does seem so womanly.
Did you see that behind the scenes thing I sent you where he's like mimicking the DP in the back on the set?
Wait, you sent that to me?
I did, or at least I thought I did.
How do you guys think Angelina Jolie and Leo in the 90s. How do you think anyone was just like in their presence?
Kate Winslet said she had a crush on him at first, and then it turned into brother and sister very quickly.
Yeah.
Which I do believe her, but I'm also like, how?
I agree. But it is like, God, you do meet hot people, and then that personality can change it. And I do think he probably was like...
Well, he was like pulling pranks on everybody. He was so immature.
I know, but God, would that make me want him more?
At that time, at 18, of course.
Of course.
The class clown is like the hottest, like... type.
I know. That's why like Timothée Chalamet is like really doing it for me right now.
He has similar energy to like young Leo in the 90s.
Yes, where he's just like, you have the razz. Everyone wants to be around you. You're so fun.
The razz is razzing.
The razz is razzing. Even with that Bob Dylan cosplay, the blonde side swoop.
I'm so upset about it.
I'm so upset about it too.
It's not okay.
Oh, it's not. I loved on the red carpet. Elle Fanning was just like laughing at him.
I know, just like, you idiot.
You idiot. Oh God, we love that
sweet
energy.
Boy. Sweet boy.
Would you ever hire Rammy to do work for you? Well, we have.
We did.
Maddie. She was a Rammy first, and now she is our family.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so we absolutely would. I would love to hire in the circle.
Of the trust.
The trust. So, like, once we have more opportunities, like, I mean it for real. People have, like, reached out being like, if you need ever, like, any graphic design help, we've never been like, no.
We're always like, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
We just can't do it right now.
Exactly.
But we will expand.
We sure will. 2025. Exactly.
Oh, this one's all you.
18-year-old, not going to college and need advice. So I didn't go to college, need advice. God, I don't know. It's like, also the world is your oyster, really.
Was there a part of you that was like indecisive about that, or did you know that was your path?
So I guess, yeah, I always knew that I didn't always know, but like my senior year, even at the start of my senior year, I knew I was not going to go to colleges. I applied to University of Arkansas just because, I mean, it was in my hometown, and that's just like what we did anyways. I took the ACT. Like, I did all of that stuff, but I knew I wasn't going to go. And I was so like committed to moving out to LA and being an actor that I was like, well, it's just going to happen for me.
We love that mindset, but that is like amazing to have that confidence.
I think that is something that's honestly great advice for being an 18-year-old, being like, I'm going to go out and make my way into the world. Like, don't waste time. I mean, obviously be like, what do I want to do? And explore that, but don't waste time being like, I don't know if I can do this. You're so young right now and the world is at your feet. Like, go grab it, you know?
So true.
And there were times, not during the college years, but even times like post-college, that I've been like, oh, I'm scared that now I don't have a college degree, that like if something didn't work out. But like, you also don't really, unless you're like a doctor or a lawyer, like a specialized thing like that, you don't really need a degree.
Yeah, if you're like going, especially if you're going into a creative field, like
yes,
you do not.
You do. If you're going into,
just don't.
If you are wanting to be honestly, I would say this: if you're wanting to be a producer or an actor or anything like that, like I would say don't, because even if you don't, you could always go back to college like 2 years later, but I would say go get in that field or go to like a specific film school or something like that. But yeah, I would say go for what you want. Don't let anything hold you back. And in my experience, and I can only speak from my experience, like I didn't really miss anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would say also you do need to have a plan.
Yeah.
I had a plan. Like I had a course of action of what I was working towards.
Totally.
So I think that any time in life, it's probably not the best to just be like, we're going to completely figure this out.
Yeah. Because I think then it can be hard to like see like your friends doing a certain thing. And then you're like, wait, like what am I doing? So yeah, just like have some options.
Yes. For the mental health.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like this is going to be not as rare.
Yeah, it's so true. Like I never even thought it was an option to not go to college.
Yeah, I was lucky that my mom like was chill with that.
Yeah, like my parents were like kind of chill about it. Like they were like, if you hate it, like, because I did not like first semester, and then they were like, you have to give it a year and then we can talk. And then I ended up really loving it. But I think like like in Palo Alto, where I was like, there was no one that was just like, I'm just not going to go. Like, it was like really intense.
Yeah.
So I think like we are seeing that change.
I think so too. Yeah. Cause when we had to, for my church, the seniors like stood up in front of the whole congregation, and they like, you had to say where you were going to school, and everyone was like University of Arkansas. One was like Vanderbilt, like all this stuff. And I literally was like, I'm going to LA.
How did you feel when you said that?
I felt like, see ya suckers later.
Take that energy, like literally.
Yeah, I think that you have to.
That is like a great inspiration, Claire, to just be like, yeah, I'm fucking doing this. I'm doing it. That's different than all of you.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of it.
Yes, it's your path. Like, go the direction that you feel called to.
That's all you can do.
It's all you can do. But have a little bit of a plan. For the mental health, really.
Truly.
Yeah. Breakup advice when you still love them. Ugh.
I don't know, because every time I've been like, peace out.
I have not.
Wait, actually, no, that's not true at all. Only like once.
She's like, I've never been heartbroken in my life, so.
Well, oh, like you were dumped?
I think so.
Oh, okay, because I've been dumped and heartbroken. I thought it was like you decided to do it even though you loved them.
I mean, that's also hard. We can talk about both things.
Yeah.
But I think breakup advice when you still love them, I think it's like they got broken up with.
Oh my God, nothing hurts more.
It's torture. Time never moves slower than when you get heartbroken.
It's torturous.
It is torturous. Oh, the aching.
The obsession.
The obsession.
The replaying.
Oh my gosh.
The dreams.
How do I get them back? Oh, the dreams. That's actually torture.
The dreams are brutal. When like they call you and they're like, I actually still love you. And then you wake up and you're like so empty.
I'm sorry to quote.
Say it.
But John Mayer's song, When You're Dreaming with a Broken Heart. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to bring it there.
It's okay.
But that song is
it's
like.
torturous.
Oh, honey. I think also what does actually help a breakup when you're heartbroken is to lean into the sad songs.
Yeah, don't try to fight it.
Let yourself be sad about it.
Yeah.
I mean, for an appropriate amount of time, because you do have to like take the next step eventually.
Yeah. It's like I'd say it's a really brutal, like when you're feeling that heartbroken, it's like a really brutal 3 months.
Yes,
you know,
I completely
where you
agree.
just kind of feel like you like can't get out of bed sort of feeling.
Yeah.
And then something does change at some point. I think like it really does. I don't want to like say this as like delicate, but like it helped me to get out there.
That's the only thing that does help.
And to like have fun and to party a little bit. I mean, I was like 18 or 19 when I'm thinking of this experience, but like helped to like make out with random boys.
I mean, that's what helps.
Just have a little distraction.
Distraction is the only, like, time and distraction is the only thing that's going to get you out of this.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're breaking up with someone because you love them, like, well, first of all, you have to trust yourself and know that, like, you had to do this.
Yep.
Like, and you deserve to have all the things that you want in a relationship. I mean, everyone will have to compromise, but you know what I mean?
Yep.
Go out there. It's just, it takes one person that's how it was for me this summer too. And also, like, I hooked up with someone and was really sad, and it was like the first person wasn't even good for me and I hated it and I felt even more sad, which is normal. And then someone else comes along and then you're like, oh, I'm distracted, I'm not so sad anymore. So
don't like base everything on like being like, oh, go, because like it has to come from within.
Yes.
And you can't like numb with like sex or drinking and
no,
stuff.
you can't.
But you find that balance, I think.
I think so too.
You know?
You just have to try sometimes. Like, we're obviously not saying go make out and black out or whatever.
Yeah.
But we are saying, like, let yourself flirt and see what's out there.
Also, like, if someone doesn't want to be with you, it's like, think of that as so unattractive. Like,
Yes.
how could I want to be with someone that does not see what I see in myself?
How great that is. Like, you don't want to be with someone who doesn't want to be with you.
No, like, when I was dumped and he had mentioned certain things that he didn't like about me, and they were all ridiculous. Like, it was like, you're not sporty enough. You party too much. I was a freshman in college. Like, stuff like that. Afterwards, I was like, I should post on Facebook that I'm doing, like, sporty things.
Yeah.
And that that I'm doing, like, intelligent things. That I'm not. And it's like, you cannot do that. And don't try to get them back. Don't try to, like.
I think we should follow up because I think we have a question here of how to get your ex back.
We do?
I think I saw that somewhere.
I saw it somewhere too.
But it was basically like how to get your ex back. You can't.
Do not come.
Do not come. Like, you cannot change someone's mind, nor do you want to. If they don't want to, you don't want to force anyone to be with you.
No. And sometimes you try to get back together, even for like a week. It feels so weird. When it's done, it's done. The universe is like, why are you doing this? Every single time I've had a breakup, we've tried to get back together and something terrible, then it's like you're kind of living in this like fake little like playing house. And then you're like, oh.
And it like that it could work out like if you guys are both on the same page and realize like how much you did miss each other. But like if you're just trying to get them back and like trying to change how they feel or change who you are again, like just don't do it. Do not try to let it go. Let the mouse go.
And it will damage your self-worth. And that becomes a very easy habit.
Oh,
like
easiest.
You know, like you need to start. I don't know how old this person is, but like it is something that you need to like really strengthen in your 20s to be like, nope, we're not doing that. We're not like pawning. Is that the right word? my brain.
Pining.
We're not pining for someone. We're not trying to like post pictures of looking all hot to hope that they'll be like, wait, you look amazing. Like, we're not doing that because you can get consumed by that.
Oh, 100%. And also to like change your life, change who you are for one person, where it's like, and this is what, when you have a broken heart too, lean into your girlfriends, lean into the things that you love about yourself and that you love about your life, and live there.
It's so true, Claire. Damn.
If you could live in another city, where would you live?
New York.
I think New York too. It used to be Austin or Nashville for me.
Southern roots.
Yeah. And I mean, I would love to be closer to my family in Arkansas and Atlanta. That would be a dream. But I think New York now.
New York is just like the best.
I think Austin and Nashville might even feel too small for me right now.
I know.
Yeah.
I think it would too.
Love living in a big city.
You love a big city?
I do now.
Yeah. Yeah. I would love to like spend like a couple months in New York every year. Like
Tribeca?
I think we're like Brooklyn right now.
Oh, wow. I've never even been to Brooklyn, so I don't know.
Brooklyn is so comforting. It's so like cute and quaint. And you just feel like you get like everything, and then you can just like hop on the subway and go to the West Village in 20 minutes.
Right.
And it's just like more like attainable, it feels.
Yeah.
I love Brooklyn. When I went for the New York City Marathon, I went to someone's house in Brooklyn for a little bit to wait for Canal, and I was just like, I fucking love this place.
I want to. I can't believe I've never gone.
It's so good.
I want to go.
You'll fall in love with it.
I want to go to Brooklyn, but I think I would choose Soho to live in right now.
Soho's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we are dying to go back to New York.
We
you guys.
always are.
Like what we would do.
Truly.
A live show.
We'll have the reason soon. Best and worst part of being a podcaster. You know what I would say?
Yeah.
I'd say the best part is everything is in your control. And the worst part is everything is in your control.
100%.
Like you get to you get to map out your career, but you're also in charge of everything. So like when you're in Hawaii for a week, you're definitely going to still be thinking a little bit about your work. It's like being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So like it's like a blessing. It's a double-edged sword.
Exactly. And it's so nice to have your own hours. But again, you're like, well, on a Sunday at 4, I feel like I need to do work.
If something pops up,
you got to take it. Like no matter what. And you're like, is this the right time? It doesn't matter. Like it's your work. You have to like handle that at that time.
Yeah.
It's, you know what someone said the other day, and I actually think this is a very cool part and sometimes like a cringy part. But I think it was Haley who said this, that we have like a time capsule. Like that all of this is recorded and different phases of our lives are recorded. And like that we can go back and listen to like different phases that we were in.
That's so true.
And I think that's a very cool part about being a podcaster. And also sometimes a hard part because like this is out there in the world. So your thoughts, I mean, we've learned to not spiral about things as much too. But
yeah, I think we've gotten to a place of being like, look, people know our hearts.
Yeah.
And you kind of just have to like trust. But it is vulnerable. Like anything we speak on, even this episode, we've said tons of things. We've talked about exes. We've talked about
nudes.
Yeah. And it's just like, but that's also like, we are entertainers.
Yeah. We are entertainers.
And we are just in a different bubble of what can be, you know?
Yeah. I completely
agree.
But
it can be hard.
Yeah.
It can be like, oh, fuck, who's going to listen to this? Like, what are they going to think?
Yeah. Even like with dating. Oh, my God. And then I've been like, I'm not going to censor myself based on someone that I've gone on a date with who said that they've listened to the podcast before. It's like they just are going to listen if they're going to listen. They know what
they're getting themselves into?
Well, they don't until they do.
Until they do. And yeah, it's like a fine, you know, everything's a fine line.
Yeah.
It's like we are very open. But at the same time, we're only humans, and some stuff like even like I try to have a good balance of not talking too much about like past relationships and stuff, just to be like respectful to like my fiance.
Yes.
So like you kind of have to find that line. And that's something that you have to figure out too.
I agree.
You know, like stuff like that you're just like, okay, wait, well now I'm in a different phase of my life, so I'm not going to be talking about like.
Which is so fair.
You know, it's all that stuff.
Exactly. How did you two become friends?
Our favorite story. Sit back in like a grandfather's chair.
Yeah, truly. Like wrap my sweater around myself to get cozy. Take it away, Tess.
Do you mind? Actually, I need to.
I can take it away.
Hydrate a little bit.
Yes, of course. Take it away from my baby.
The voice.
So Tess and I met 7 years ago, I think. 2017.
August 2017.
August 2017 is
July.
Yeah, because then it came to my birthday in August. So we had a mutual friend who I was doing a lot of creative projects with. And he was just editing your web series, right?
Yeah, and he was in it too.
Oh, he was in it. Oh, wow.
I know.
I'd like to go back and watch.
It is pretty good.
I mean, it was on Elizabeth Banks' comedy platform.
I'll post it for the Rammies to see it.
I would love that.
Yeah, you guys will like it.
No, Tess is such a great actress, and she wrote it. No, it's true. It's amazing. So he knew that I was in that mindset, and the fact that Tess was creating her own thing, he was like, I feel like you need to meet Tess. She's really going for it and doing her own thing and creating her own projects. I feel like you guys would vibe really well. He also did say, I feel like you'll never see me again.
And the prophecy.
Yeah, once Tess and I met each other, we're like, well, we don't need you anymore.
Literally.
Yeah, I know that sounds pretty harsh, but there's history behind that.
He deserved that statement.
Yeah, literally. So okay. Was the first time I met you in person on the set of my short film?
Yes.
Okay, so I was doing a short film with that person. We wrote and produced it together, and he directed it, and I was acting in it, and we needed extras for it. And so Tess came to set, and I'd heard so much about her, so I went up to her and I was like, so nice to meet you, thank you so much for coming, whatever.
And I'd heard so much about Claire, and I was like, she's literally a celebrity. She's been best friends with Taylor Swift. I was nervous. And I saw her and I was like, I am so intimidated by her. She is so pretty and she's so cool.
Well, vice versa.
And we just fell in love.
I know. I'm trying to think of the first time we actually hung out.
So I remember this so well because we were going to, or I went to your birthday party.
Okay, yeah. So then a month later.
Yeah, this guy was like, you can come to her birthday. And I was like, she didn't invite me. We're not even friends.
Yeah.
And I was freaking out. And he's like, no, it's at a big place. Everyone can go. And so I went with him to your birthday party.
Yeah.
And was just once again, good God, she has so many friends. I was like, there's 200 people here. And she was wearing this free people dress.
Which I just wore to the Saltburn party. I knew not to get rid of that dress.
I know. It's good. It's a good one.
And I will never get rid of that dress.
And we didn't really hang out that much that night.
No.
But then I was going to Vegas, and I remember you texting me.
Right.
I'll never forget it. And you texted me and said, thank you so much for coming to my party. And then you were like, let's talk about creative work when you get back from Vegas. And I was like, it's going to happen when I'm back from Vegas. And the first time we really hung out was when we went on that.
Was that the time that we first hung out, was a double date?
Yes.
So then we had been texting.
Yes.
Oh, a double date. Neither one of us were on a date, but
No.
I brought this girl that I was friends with at the time. Tess brought our friend Katie, and we were trying to set them up.
We thought that they would hit it off.
And they did make out, didn't they?
They did hit it off in some way.
Yeah, in some way. But then we were like, well, we're falling in love with each other
It was
as well.
it was more of a double date with us.
Yeah, exactly. And then from there, it's just when Tess and I met, it truly was one of those things that you're like, I feel like I've known you my whole life. People are shocked when I tell them that we've only known each other for 7 years.
We were immediately so comfortable together, and we also immediately had this joint passion.
Exactly.
That we could not find with anyone. We needed each, we were really two people that were we want to make our own work. We want to act on our own stuff. We want to be creating a project every 2 months. And so we just had this baby together.
Exactly. And we I couldn't find someone who wanted to put in the time. Because yeah, you can have the passion, but you have to be able to put the time and the work in. And you had that with me.
Yeah. So we just and then we were we also love Bravo.
Yes.
We
Jessica Simpson.
We went on a little road trip. I dropped Claire off for her film was premiering in San Jose. I was going to the Bay Area anyway. So we drove together.
That was definitely a bonding trip because we were very new friends, and that was so nice that you came to that premiere.
Oh my God, it was with Donna and Molly. It was so fun.
But it was 6 hours in the car together.
Yeah.
And then I was we said something, and Newlyweds got brought up, and I remember being like, oh my God, did you watch Newlyweds growing up? And then we put it on YouTube and watched for 6 hours while Tess was driving.
Truly, just listening to it, I was like, oh, this is so comforting.
Yep.
We were Jessica girls.
We were Jessica girls.
Also really, so yeah, we just were instant friends.
Instant friends, and we have never not worked with each other since then. And our communication style is so similar too that we know how to interact with each other.
Truly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the story of our friendship.
It was us.
It was us. But it's such a sweet story.
It is.
Such a sweet tale.
I love you.
Love you too.
I can't reach you, but I do love you.
I love you too.
That's the story of us. Okay, do you do your research? Yes, we do. Best thing that happened to you in 2024?
Getting engaged.
She's engaged.
I'm engaged. Yeah, that was really, really fun. That was so special.
That was crazy.
It
wasn't that crazy. We knew it was coming, but
we knew it was coming, but also it's just so nice and fun.
what a gift.
yeah, it was just like very special, and it continues to be special and exciting. And yeah, it's like one of those things that like you just don't think you're ever going to be that girl, and then you're that girl.
I mean, you get this experience once in your life. Like, you should be so excited about it.
Yeah, just like lean in. It's fun just to like lean in with your partner about it too, and just be like, treat yourself to things and be so romantic and like nostalgic and treat yourself. Let me tell you, like I'm getting like 4 sessions of microneedling, and that shit is expensive, but I'm like, who cares?
When am I going to do this again?
Exactly.
I can't believe you're getting married like in a couple months.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
I know.
Oh, it's so
like
exciting.
soon I will have a ring below my engagement
I can't wait
ring.
for that, honestly.
Sorry to bring it there.
No,
but like,
the glam.
The glam.
It's going to be
the
so
sparkles.
Good. We live for the sparkles.
So yeah, that was fun.
It's so exciting.
What about you?
Honestly, my breakup.
But it's like, yeah.
The duality.
The duality.
Yeah, no.
That, I agree for you.
I think that was like the best thing that's happened to me in a really long time. I think I just like found myself again.
You like came out, like you literally were like a woman rising from the ashes. You know, like you're like, once like you had that idea, you had this like freeness to yourself that I hadn't seen for our entire friendship.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. I lost myself, and I knew that while I was in this relationship. Like, I might have said this before, but I always felt like there was like a door. And like once I found that door and I walked through that door, then that's like really the life I was supposed to be living. But I felt like I couldn't find this door. And then after the breakup, it's like I walked through that door and I was like self-actualizing. And like, oh, here it is. Here's where I'm supposed to be.
It's so true.
And thank God for Tess and her Bitcoin boo, because they immediately were like, you have a place to stay with us. We'll figure this out.
Of course.
And here we are.
I mean, always.
Always.
Like, yeah, it was time. And like, I've never looked at you as like, even in that relationship, I wasn't like, oh, she's like a dark person or like different. Like, you've always been the same, but there is just like this lightness to you now. And you're not having someone drag you down.
Exactly.
You're not having like a little voice in your head telling you that you can't do things that you can do. Like, it's just so nice to see you like have this time.
The freedom.
The freedom.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I was literally at Tess's house and was like,
I'll never forget it.
I was literally like, I have to go break up with him right now.
Truly just behind me, watching the Casey.
Watching Deeper Well, the Casey Musgraves music video.
Both of us just like looking at the computer, but she was behind me, and I was just like, oh God. I was like, I think I know what's about to happen. And I feel like I can feel her about to cry. And also I was like, I hope that this is the, I was just like, universe, please help her get here.
And it was like, Casey, when I tell you guys that the song Deeper Well changed my life, it actually did, because I heard it and I was like, this feels like my story, because it was at 27. It really was my Saturn return, because it was that horrible birthday night.
I know.
That everything started to change for me. And I was just like, I have to do this.
And then she went off and she did. And then she came back that night?
No, the next night.
Oh, the next night. You're right.
Yeah. I went to Allison's that night. And then the next night, then I moved out. Crazy.
And let this be like inspiration to people that might be feeling this way. Like, you can exhale, and like, it's going to be hard. But like, look at Claire. She's fucking thriving.
Well, thank you.
I mean, you are.
I mean,
you are.
I'm so, like, I already told Tess this yesterday, because I was at my friend Mike and Macy's house, and they also like did so much for me this summer. But like, Tess and her Bitcoin boo like made this journey possible for me too.
Well, we will always we'll always support you.
Oh God, your 100%. Wedding. I'm just so not going to be okay.
It is going to be emotional.
It's going to be really intense.
It's going to be intense.
I like feel like I want to be medicated, but I want to be present.
You're just on like lorazepam.
Literally, like Allison having to hold me up in the seats. Like, Weekend at Bernie's, I have sunglasses on. I'm like, so how was the wedding?
Oh my God.
But at least I wasn't sobbing.
Well, we hope people cry. We hope that people cry, and we hope that a few people hook up.
Okay, well, I can't guarantee the hookup. People will definitely
If you love
cry.
us, you will hook up. Just kidding.
No, she's not.
No, but would you want some dance floor makeouts?
I mean, of course.
So I feel like it will happen at least with a couple of people. We're sending out a PDF, by the way.
Yeah, tell them.
We're going to send out BCC to our single people.
So crazy.
And show a picture, where you're from, how old you are, and be like, go.
Yeah.
That's all we're going to say.
What picture are you choosing?
We're going to ask you guys what you want. Ugh. I think you should do...
This is my cross to bear.
I think you should do one from your birthday.
Okay. This is like literally why I stopped making a Hinge, because choosing pictures for yourself.
It is tough. You almost have to just be like, here. Like, you have to let go.
That's so true.
Because then it's like nothing is ever going to,
That's so true.
Like, and men put like a blurry photo of them with their head chopped off.
Yeah.
And being like,
But also, guys, if you have a childhood picture of yourself on Hinge, like, take it off. It's
really
weird.
weird.
It's really weird. You know what I've been seeing all over Hinge?
Huh.
Handstands. People posting pictures of themselves, not like a yoga handstand either, just like a hand. I text Tess this. You guys, I saw the For You page. If you guys don't know, if you go to your search on Instagram, I saw a straight man's For You page.
All boobs.
All boobs. It was it was like all girls in bikinis or boobs. It was the scariest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I looked down and I went, oh, that's your For You page. Like, I've never seen anything like it.
No.
And I actually don't think it was specific to that guy. I think there are a lot more straight men's For You page that look like that than we even think.
I think it's just because the algorithm knows, and if they'll linger a second on a model.
Exactly. And the algorithm knows. And so I went to mine, and it's all like pop culture, baking,
dogs,
of course. Like, wow.
I know.
It was scary out there.
I'm happy to be a woman.
Same. Oh, I'm so happy. We actually have the boobs.
Truly.
We don't have to go looking for them.
We can play with them anytime we want.
And that's a gorgeous thing.
It really is.
Yeah. So, oh, this is oh, wait, okay. Wait, how long have we been going?
Oh, that's true.
I think we have time.
Where are we?
We have time.
Oh, okay, we have time.
Because this is the last episode of the year anyways.
Exactly. We have time. Let's do a few more because I know we have a heart out.
Yeah.
So we'll pick like the ones that we really want.
Okay. Well, I think this one's actually interesting is what are your love languages?
Yeah. What are yours?
To receive, all of them. To start, all of it.
Literally.
Yeah, no. To receive, all of it. I used to not think I was a physical touch girly. Turns out I am.
If you can catch your drift.
If you catch my drift. I think like, yeah, all of them. I want the gifts. I want the words of affirmation. I want the acts of service, physical touch. Is there one more?
Quality time.
Quality time. I want all of them.
Yeah.
To give, I think my love language is words of affirmation.
You are a very words of affirmation woman.
Yeah.
Like you're so good at like sending a text out of nowhere being like, hey, I was just thinking of like how proud I am of you. Oh. Like you are just so like intentional with like your words to people.
Oh, I think if you think something nice about someone, tell them. Always tell them.
You always do that to people.
Oh, well, I really think it's like we all need that, you know, and words like go so far.
It can like it can save someone's life.
I completely agree. So I think words of affirmation, if I were to choose a second one of me giving, maybe quality time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. For me to receive acts of service.
That's your biggest one.
Like, it's just so, like, it feels so loving to me when, like, Kunal will go offer to fill up my gas, or he's always like, what are you craving? And, like, he'll, like, literally go to the store and, like, just, like, get me the ice cream. Like, he's very, like, attentive and...
I was literally about to say, well, you're with someone who, like, I think that's their love language.
And that's how and I'm just like, oh, my God, I feel like a princess.
Yeah.
Which is just, like, really nice, and I feel so lucky for that.
Acts of service kind of dips... I guess it doesn't, because to me, I'm like, going to buy you ice cream is also like kind of a gift. You know what I'm saying?
And like, I do love, and like a gift to me is even like, I love like, we write each other like a lot of like notes and stuff. Like, so like I love that and quality time. Quality time. And then I think how I give is probably like, what are my things? Probably gifts, like cards, little things, like little tiny things like that. And then probably quality time or words of affirmation.
You're also great about words of affirmation.
No, yeah, maybe I am a words of affirmation. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say for you, words of affirmation, quality time, and gifts, though.
Yeah.
You're really good about gifts.
Oh, thank you so much. I do love like giving a gift.
Yeah.
It like excites me.
I think that's very Taurus of you, too.
Just like, I put time into this. I've been thinking about it. Like, I love to see people's reactions.
I love gifts.
I love gifts too.
Gifts make you feel so special.
I know.
I think.
I know.
Oh, love languages are fascinating.
It is. And like, they can be different with the different people that you're with.
Yeah.
Like you just said, like you used to think that you weren't,
exactly
physical touch. And then you're like, maybe I am.
Maybe you need some loving. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Yeah. I'm not like a physical touch girly overall, but like I do realize how important that is, obviously, for me in a romantic relationship to have that physical connection.
Totally.
I think that's what I mean with physical touch.
Oh, it's so important.
Yeah.
And like you also want to like hold someone's hand and like enjoy holding their hand.
Yeah, exactly. A little cuddle sesh.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing.
I do. I'm a very touchy person.
Yeah.
Always cuddling.
Tess at Casey Musgraves. I was crying, obviously, when we went to see her live. And then she came out behind me and helped me. And we talked about it the next day. And she was like, I know that you're not a physical touch girly, but I was like, I feel like I need to hold her.
I was for like 2 minutes because I'd taken an edible and I was like looking at her just crying. And I was like, oh my God, my heart is breaking. And I was like, I know that sometimes that can be intense. So she like around other people and she doesn't really always like it. But I was like, okay, I was weighing the pros and the cons.
I loved it. I loved it. Also
like,
with certain people, I'm like, you could always hold me.
Totally. Evan.
But Evan, stop, you're scaring her. Our friend Evan one time would not stop stroking my leg. And I was like, Evan, stop. And he is such a physical touch person.
The most. Like, just needs to be like he is Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande.
But I love you so much, Evan.
Oh, we love you, Evan.
Yeah, God bless you.
God bless you, sweetheart.
This is important. I think this is actually to Tess. What's the beef with Gaga? Gaga.
She always bothered me.
Mm-hmm.
And the theater kid energy came really strong. And I think it was like the first experience I had with a singer that was like, no, actually, I've always wanted to act. It's always been about acting.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it's always annoying to me when singers turn into actors. And like, yeah, she just always gave me, I'm sorry to say, she always gave me the ick.
Yeah.
I think she's so talented. She's so amazing. I love what she stands for.
Oh, she's like our generation's like ally almost in a way.
Yes.
And like in pop music. I truly believe that.
I believe that too. And that's a great way of putting it. Like, I respect her, but she annoys the hell out of me.
Yes. I get that.
And that's all it is, really.
Yeah. I think the Gaga beef is more between Tess and Gaga.
Yeah.
But
I've worked on it.
You've come around. The fact that I got logged onto her TikTok and Tess left a comment on a video of her saying like how amazing this was.
I was like, oh, fuck, she's a good person, isn't she?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just the acting thing. And then like when she won it really was A Star Is Born.
Yeah.
It was just triggering me of like the seniors that will never let their high school play go.
Yeah.
And they come back all the time like, oh, wait, but do you remember like second night? It was the second night and we had that like amazing audience. It's like, shut up. No one cares anymore. And her and her audition.
It was a table read.
The table read.
The table read where she is singing Shallow. And Bradley Cooper just singing.
They just all put their hands over their mouths and they're just like, it gave me a stomach ache. It made me so upset.
I love that press tour with her and Salma Hayek for Gucci or Versace. Gucci?
Yes.
Gucci.
House of Gucci.
House of Gucci. And then she was like, I had to let her go. Like or whatever.
And then it zooms into Salma Hayek and she's literally just like spacing out distance. Like she's like, what is this woman talking about?
Yeah.
Oh God, it's good, you guys.
Oh, it's so good.
So yeah, that's the beef.
Yeah, but it's like innocent.
It's innocent.
Yeah.
And I do respect her.
I mean, how could you not respect her?
It's like the same way I feel about some movies where I'm like, it's not for me and like I don't like it, but like I know that people like it and I get it.
And normalize that.
Exactly.
Normalize it being like, I can respect this, but I just don't like it, and that's okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, do you want to talk about how you met your Bitcoin boo or save that for premium?
Oh, I'll tell them the shortened version.
Do it.
We were mutual friends. No, we met in 2014 through mutual friends. Hung out for a night, but he lived in New York. I lived in LA. I was also kind of seeing someone, but I was like, we had like a fun little banter. He was like on one that night. Like everything someone said, he had like such a funny comeback. He was like so witty. I was like, he is funny. Like he could be like a comedian.
It says 2014?
2014.
Okay.
And we smoked and watched a movie with our mutual friend. And I was like, And then we followed each other on Instagram. He moved to LA 5 years later. And then texted me being like, oh, we should hang out. We have this framed in our house. Our first text ever. That's
very cute.
Very cute. And then we started becoming friends. During the pandemic, we go on like distance walks and we'd start FaceTiming a lot. And we were just like best friends. And then he moved to Austin. I remember feeling like kind of disappointed. Still remained talking all the time.
Like talking about dates and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like he would like send me pictures of who he was dating. And then something has changed within me. And I was like, she's not pretty. She's not pretty. Even like perfectly attractive women, I was just like, I don't like it. And then I'd be complaining to him about that guy, the older guy I was dating at that time, being like, he is just so toxic and I cannot stop hooking up with him. And so we'd just always be like sharing our woes. And then we went to Austin for my 30th birthday with a group of like 7 of us. Claire was there.
I almost cock-blocked them the first night.
She did. She did. We had to pull her away.
Yeah, literally they had to physically pull me away because I was like, we were at a bar and then everyone started leaving and I was like, well, I'm still down to hang. And it was like Tess can all
everyone was like, no, cut it. cut it. And she's like, oh, and then her face had been like, I see.
I was like, all right, I will see you later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, we ended up, and like we knew that this would happen. We ended up hooking up in Austin. I mean, we were fighting it.
Yeah.
I was like, no, he sees me like a little sister. Always.
Always.
Yeah, but at that point I had sent him a pretty graphic body shot, which to this day is saved in my favorites.
That's, I feel like, when things actually change.
Yes.
The balcony pic.
In a bikini, and I was like, I'm like so bored.
Yeah.
Like, do you think I should post this? And he was like, interesting. So everything changed then. And then we hooked up in Austin and have been dating ever since. And that was 4 years ago in May.
That's crazy.
It's like 3.5 years ago.
When I first met him, it was like when he was living in LA, and Tess like, I'm going to bring my friend over. We were playing cornhole in the back, and I was like, I don't think he sees her as a friend. I just don't think he'll be like, no, I was
yeah.
We all saw through that.
Well, I was texting someone at that point.
Yeah.
Who had ghosted me. But this was before. And I was texting like that entire day.
Yeah.
And so at some point he kind of ended up leaving because he was like, you were just like on your phone, like flirting with this guy. And I was like, yeah, that's fair. But yeah, we were both getting a little curious.
Well, flirty vibes.
The moment that you're with like a guy friend and then you're starting to get weird about him talking about other girls, there's kind of no turning back.
For real though. We're just like, huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, that's the story.
So sweet.
That's the story of us.
And now they'll get married.
Yeah.
You pick another one. What? Are you happy? Hey.
Are you happy?
I am happy, actually.
Yeah. I am too. I wasn't happy this week because I was so sick.
Yes.
But I'm happy in general.
I was trying to remember the lines of happiness, and I was like, no, that doesn't like fit right now as much. Happiness after you. No, I definitely am. I'm happy.
Good.
There's always ups and downs.
Of course. Everything's a journey.
Exactly. Do you have any fun most recent celeb sightings in LA? What?
At the Spotify rap party, Nessa.
Oh.
Guys, I saw Nessa from Wicked and I was like a little tipsy. And I just stood by her for like 10 minutes being like, I'm going to say something. And just like stood there watching her talk to someone else. And then I was like snapped out of it and came to. And I was like, I don't even like this character. And like, what would I even say?
But I think it would have been okay to just be like, hey, I love the movie. You were great.
Yeah.
If you can like approach a celebrity and don't, like if they're having dinner with their family, like do not approach them. But if they're at like an industry event, I think that's totally fine. But this one guy was hogging her the whole time.
Hogging.
But then Tess made the joke. Say it. Like that she was going to start singing to her. Oh, Nessa.
Oh, Nessa. I confess.
And that's how she was going to open up talking to her.
I was just really in my Wicked zone last week, like really obsessed.
Oh, and it really made me laugh picturing Tess like just singing to this woman.
No, it would have been crazy.
But then we did see the TikTok guy who sings to celebrities and makes them uncomfortable, which makes me laugh so much. And his friend and him, or this other TikTok guy, I don't know, I'm too old to know.
Yeah, same.
They did actually sing to her.
Thank God.
So yeah, I don't know who my most recent one is. Besides that, I saw Shaun White earlier this year.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to think. We saw Owen Wilson earlier this year on Main Street.
I saw Judd Apatow and Leslie Mann earlier this year together, and I love Leslie Mann, so that was very exciting.
That is exciting. I saw Jennifer Meyer, the jewelry designer.
Oh, where?
At John and Vinny's.
Oh, classic.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, should we do one last one?
Yeah, why not?
You choose.
Well, maybe honestly, can a Ram field trip happen? I would love nothing more.
Yeah, I think it can.
A Rammy meetup would be so major.
It'd be so fun.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before.
Yeah, with the company.
And then we were like,
But like it was so expensive what that company was offering, and I wouldn't like want to ask you guys to do that.
Yeah, it has to be something that we feel comfortable asking you guys to spend.
Yeah.
And we always try to be respectful of that.
Yeah.
So that's what we have to figure out, but we can make it happen.
Excuse me. No, I think that would be so fun. And I thought that there was a question about like when a live show would happen. I actually think that 2025 will have another live show.
I think we will. I think
New York first.
I think we'll definitely do it in New York or DC or like something on the East Coast. Those are our biggest cities, you guys. And thank you for your service.
Truly. We would goals for 2025, honestly, live show in New York.
Yep.
Or just live show anywhere. getting like someone like Chelsea Handler on the pod would
getting
be
just like a dream guest.
a dream guest. Another opportunity like Watch What Happens Live. It doesn't have to necessarily be Watch What Happens Live, an opportunity like that.
Yeah, or like to have a little write-up in Elle magazine.
Nina,
are you listening?
please. She's still following us on Instagram, you guys, Nina Garcia.
Yeah, so we're always trying to get into Elle.
Yeah, a write-up like that would be insane.
I know.
So let's manifest it together, guys.
All of us, guys.
All of us.
And remember, do the TikTok dance. Do the TikTok trend. Yes. Do it for us.
For us, please.
For a Christmas present.
Oh my God, that would be unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anytime that you guys tag us also in TikTok videos where you're like, listen to right answers mostly, makes my entire day life.
You guys are so goddamn sweet.
So sweet. This has been such a good year for Ram.
Oh, thank you guys for everything this year, for supporting us, for encouraging us, inspiring us.
It's so true. Also, go back through the archives. Like, you might, when we re-edit for re-releases, I'm like, I totally forgot about this.
It's so fun to re-listen.
Yeah, exactly. And we know that the holidays can be long, so we are here for you. Dig through the archives.
Please share episodes with your friends and family when you're home over the holidays. Just be like, have you heard of Ram?
Yep.
Wear your merch.
That's right. And if you'd like the vibe of this episode kind of be more conversational, we get even more personal and conversational on Premium. We have 3 bonus episodes a month, and 2 of them are very much kind of like this style.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll do questions, and then we have a historical episode. You get the whole catalog. It goes directly into your feed, so you don't have to go to a third-party app to listen.
So easy.
It's so easy. $7.99 a month. You can sign up in our show notes.
Guys, we love you.
We love you. We'll see you in 2025.
2025, here we come.
Here we come, baby.
Stay safe, Rammies.
Goodbye.